All right, everybody, you are so close to the end of your essay. We are on to the conclusion paragraph. We're going to sum it all up and be done with this, right? So we ready to go? What's out? Separate your screen, all that good stuff. We're going to talk about the conclusion today. What is the conclusion? Well, it's a mirror image of your introduction. So when you look in a mirror, right, everything's in reverse. So it's the reverse order of your introduction, but it's more like a funhouse mirror, like this lady here gets all changed because it's not exactly the same. We change things around and we move them up a little bit. The biggest thing I can tell you is you do not give any new information here in the conclusion. Everything is from what you already talked about. You are summarizing what you've talked about. So it's a summary of the big picture. What's the most important points that when the person's done, it's like, hey, this is what you need to know to understand my essay, right? 3 parts. The first part is your restated thesis statement in new words. It's 1 sentence long. Then the next part, you explain the main idea. You kind of tell us, so what? Why is this important in 1 to 2 sentences? And your closing thought, it's your boom, mic drop. It's your big final thought. And that's about 1 sentence. So your conclusion will be 3 to 4 sentences long. Okay? So now we want to talk about restating our thesis. The first thing we do in the conclusion. You restate the thesis from your intro paragraph, but you do it in fresh words. You do it in new words because you're going to be like my boring robot buddy over here on the side, right? If you just copy and paste the exact thesis, you're going to sound like a robot and you're going to irritate your reader, and your reader is your teacher. So you don't want to irritate your teacher. So instead, you want to use fresh language to state the same idea. You want to use synonyms and new words and change the order around. One really good structure for this, one really good way if you're like, I don't know how to do it, is to take this structure. When one considers my first topic and my second topic, possibly my third topic, it's clear that. So you're just moving things around and putting them in the opposite order. You're starting with the F of your IVF and kind of ending with your I. Here is an example I would have done for this essay. So on train time, when one considers the major's character and the choices he made, it is clear that while he thought he was doing the right thing, he made a wrong choice. So I took everything I talked about and I put it into one nice sentence, right? I restated what my main idea is. After that, you get to the next, the middle. You're telling me, so what? Why does this matter? Who cares, right? You're bringing that in. Why does any of this matter anyway? So you're going to leave behind the book, the topic, the issue, and you're going to give the big picture idea of why people should care about this idea. You're going to give the point you are trying to prove of your thesis. Like, okay, everyone needs to know about this. It should be 1 to 2 sentences long. And I'm going to give you another example that I would have done for this essay. In life, a lot can be said about the type of person someone is by the choices they make. Even when they have the best of intentions, they sometimes make awful decisions. So do you see what I did? I talked about whether or not being right or wrong kind of person you are, but I didn't just talk about major miles. I talked about it big picture. It's almost like I'm saying what the theme is, right? What's the message? What's the lesson that people should learn from reading my essay? And then you're going to end it. Boom! Mic drop. Give me your final thought. Your last sentence should leave the reader nodding in agreement and feeling glad that they bothered to read your essay, being like, oh, yes, you are right, right? That's how they feel after they read it's your final thought that can drive the point home. It's like, you weren't sure, boom, this is going to make you be sure. So you do basically want to give your opinion on the overall topic, but don't say I. So instead of saying, I think, you just get rid of the I think and state your opinion. So think about, how do I feel about all of this? And that's your mic drop moment. That's your final thing. Here's my example going along with what we're writing about major miles and train time, right? Lying is never okay. How can someone really be a man of conscience if he does not keep his word? And I walk away like I dropped my mic. That's my last thought, right? How can you really be a man of conscience if you don't keep your word? No new information is all things I already stated. So recapping, let's go over what is in the conclusion, right? It's a summary of your essay. It's the opposite order of the introduction. So it goes restated thesis, background, and then closing, right? So it's the opposite of our intro. You start by restating your thesis in a different order and using synonyms, change up the words, go back into these notes and use that format I gave you. Then you explain why this is important, the so what. Why did you write about this and why do others care, right? Basically give me like the theme, give me what we can learn from it. And then you give a final thought. You tell your opinion without saying I. And you do all this and you're going to get the star. See the middle of my page? You are a star writer when you do this for your conclusion. All right, my superstars. You're going to practice all of this and work on this, and you're going to write the best conclusions I've ever read. Reach out if you need me.